The shimmering glass towers of downtown reflected the late morning sunlight as Adrian Monroe, a world-renowned actor and philanthropist, emerged from the luxurious lobby of the Carlton Hotel. The usual urban cacophony greeted him, the distant honking of car horns, snippets of conversations from passers-by, and the faint rumble of ongoing construction. Dressed in his signature eclectic style, a pair of sunglasses perched on his nose, Adrian moved with calm confidence toward a sleek black limousine parked at the curb. At the limo, his longtime chauffeur, Patrick, stood with military precision. Patrick, a tall man in his 50s with a kind but professional demeanor, opened the rear door with a practiced hand as Adrian approached. "Good morning, Mr. Monroe," Patrick greeted, his voice warm yet formal. "I trust your stay was pleasant?" Adrian gave him a relaxed smile. "Morning, Patrick. It was fine, thanks. Ready to head home, though. But before that, we've got one more stop for a quick photo shoot." As Adrian began to slide into the plush interior, a small figure darted past him, moving with surprising agility. Startled, Adrian felt a tug on his leg. Looking down, he saw a little girl, no older than 9, her bald head glistening under the sunlight. She clung to his leg with trembling hands, her frail body shaking with fear. Her large, expressive eyes refused to meet his, staring intently at something in the distance. Adrian knelt down, gently placing a hand on her shoulder. "Hey there," he said softly. "Are you okay? What's wrong?" Before the girl could answer, an angry shout rang out. The child flinched and clutched Adrian's leg tighter before abruptly letting go. Without a word, she bolted into the crowded street, disappearing among the throng of pedestrians. A man in his 40s, wearing a stained apron emblazoned with the logo of a nearby convenience store, approached Adrian. His face was flushed with irritation as he gestured in the direction the girl had fled. "That little troublemaker," the man spat, bitterness dripping from his words. "Always hanging around my store, scaring off customers. Brings nothing but bad luck." Adrian raised an eyebrow, his expression calm but inquisitive. "Has she done anything wrong? Stolen something? Maybe?" The man hesitated before admitting reluctantly. "No, she doesn't take anything. Just walks through the aisles, touching everything, never buying. It's unsettling, and it's driving my customers away." Adrian nodded thoughtfully. "Sometimes people's actions have reasons we don't understand," he said. "Judging her without knowing her story might not be fair." The store owner, still muttering under his breath, didn't seem appeased. Adrian stepped into his limousine, his thoughts lingering on the girl's frightened eyes and the bitter anger of the store owner. As the limo merged into traffic, Adrian leaned forward, addressing Patrick. "Drive slower, will you? Keep an eye out for that little girl. She's bald and looks about 9. I'm worried about her." Patrick nodded, understanding the urgency in Adrian's voice. "Of course, sir." They navigated the bustling streets, Adrian's sharp eyes scanning the sidewalks. Just as he was about to give up, he spotted the girl huddled against the wall of another convenience store a few blocks away. "Pull over here," Adrian said quickly. The limousine glided to a stop, and Adrian stepped out, approaching the girl slowly to avoid startling her. She sat on the ground, a small paper cup in front of her, asking for donations. Her posture exuded exhaustion, but her eyes lit up with recognition when she saw him. "Hello again," Adrian said gently, crouching to her level. He pulled out his wallet and placed several large bills into her cup. Her eyes widened, and she looked up at him, hope glimmering in her expression. "Thank you," she whispered. Then, her voice trembling, she added, "Please help me." Adrian's heart ached at her words. "Of course. What do you need?" Before she could answer, a small crowd began to gather. People recognized Adrian and called his name, their phones raised for pictures. The girl flinched, shrinking back in fear. Adrian instinctively shielded her, guiding her into the limousine just as Patrick opened the door. Inside the car, the girl relaxed slightly, her wide eyes darting around at the luxurious interior. Adrian noticed how she unconsciously rubbed her arms, as if cold despite the climate-controlled environment. "What's your name?" Adrian asked gently. "Sophie," she replied in a small voice. "Sophie, can you tell me what's wrong? Why do you need help?" Sophie hesitated, then pointed out the window at a rundown building they were passing. A faded sign read, "Hope's Haven Orphanage." She then touched her bald head and rolled up her sleeve, revealing a dark, concerning mark on her arm. "I'm sick," she said, her voice trembling. "The doctors at the orphanage said I need special medicine, but they can't afford it." Adrian's heart clenched as he began to understand the gravity of her situation. Turning to Patrick, he said firmly, "We're stopping at that orphanage." At Hope's Haven, Adrian met Miss Abigail, the kind but exhausted caretaker. She explained Sophie's condition, stage 3 cancer. The orphanage, struggling to stay afloat, couldn't provide the treatment Sophie desperately needed. "She's been trying to save money on her own," Miss Abigail confessed, tears in her eyes. "She's so brave, but it breaks my heart." Adrian promised immediate action. "I'll cover all of Sophie's medical expenses," he said, "and I want to help the orphanage too." Overwhelmed with gratitude, Miss Abigail thanked him profusely. Adrian stayed with Sophie through her hospital visits, providing comfort and reassurance. He gifted her a golden coin and a pirate hat from his old movie roles, calling her his brave first mate. Sophie's surgery marked the beginning of her road to recovery. Adrian not only funded her treatment, but also set up a trust to renovate the orphanage and establish a medical clinic for underserved children. The story of his kindness spread, inspiring others to support Hope's Haven. Months later, Sophie, now healthier and full of life, stood beside Adrian as he cut the ribbon at the opening of the new Hope's Haven. Her bright smile and infectious laughter were a testament to the power of compassion and the extraordinary impact one act of kindness can have on countless lives. Epilogue: A ripple of hope. As Adrian looked out over the newly renovated orphanage grounds, he felt an overwhelming sense of fulfillment. The once crumbling building had been transformed into a haven for children like Sophie, a bright, welcoming space equipped with modern facilities, including a small but fully functional medical clinic. The clinic, named Sophie's Sanctuary in honor of the brave girl who had inspired it all, was staffed by volunteer doctors and nurses who provided free medical care to children in need. Adrian's foundation ensured that the clinic's operations were fully funded, allowing it to serve as a beacon of hope for families struggling to afford medical care. Sophie's journey had sparked something extraordinary. Word of Adrian's actions spread far and wide, capturing the attention of philanthropists, celebrities, and ordinary people alike. Donations poured in, and the orphanage's programs expanded to include educational scholarships, counseling services, and extracurricular activities for the children. One day, Adrian returned to Hope's Haven to visit Sophie, now a vibrant and healthy 10-year-old. She greeted him with an enthusiastic hug. Her once bald head was now adorned with soft curls, and her laughter rang out as she proudly showed him the mural she had painted on the orphanage's playground wall. The mural depicted a ship sailing across a glittering ocean, with a golden coin shining at its mast. Below it, in bold, colorful letters, were the words, "Every child deserves a chance to sail their own adventure." Adrian smiled, his heart swelling with pride. "You've done an amazing job, Sophie. It's beautiful." Sophie beamed up at him. "I wanted to show everyone that they can be brave, like you taught me." As the sun set over the horizon, Adrian sat on a bench, watching the children of Hope's Haven play and laugh. Sophie sat beside him, clutching her golden coin. In that moment, Adrian realized that the impact of his actions extended far beyond what he had imagined. It wasn't just about saving one life or fixing one orphanage. It was about creating a ripple of hope that would inspire others to make a difference. And so, Adrian Monroe's journey continued, guided by the lessons he had learned from Sophie and the children of Hope's Haven. Together, they proved that even the smallest acts of kindness could transform lives and change the world, one child, one orphanage, and one adventure at a time.